I get asked quite frequently which at-home skincare devices I recommend, as well as which ones I personally use. Now, I have tried a ton of at-home skincare devices or modalities, especially during the pandemic. I have tried everything from different microcurrent devices, radio frequency devices, ultrasound, LED devices, at-home lasers, and so on. However, very few of these devices or modalities actually stuck around. So in today's video, I will share with you which devices or modalities stuck around and how I incorporate them into my routine. Now, I won't go into too much detail about what each of these devices or modalities actually does, because I do have dedicated videos on all of these devices or modalities, which I will link down below. But again, I will share with you which devices or modalities stuck around, why they stuck around, and how I easily incorporate them into my routine. The modality I use most frequently is red light therapy. I use red light therapy about 5 to 7 days a week. By the way, I apologize about the sound and lighting in here. I'm obviously in my bathroom, and I know the lighting and sound are not the greatest, but I wanted to show you how I use these devices or modalities in real life. So again, the modality I use most frequently is red light therapy. And I like to use my red light therapy first thing in the morning, coming straight out of the shower on either clean skin, or I apply a serum or mist, which promises to help amplify the effects of red light therapy. I have several different red light therapy devices. You don't need several different ones. I just happen to have them because, first of all, I love red light therapy, and of course I test devices for this channel. I have a full body panel, which you can see hanging at the back of my bathroom door, and I also have several different red light therapy masks. I have the Current Body Series 2 mask, the Misama Prana mask, and I'm currently testing a third red light therapy face mask, but it is really new to me. I don't know yet how I feel about it, so I didn't want to bring it in because I don't know if it is going to stay in my rotation. But these two masks are fantastic, and I go back and forth between the two. Now, ideally, I would stand in front of my full body panel for 10 to 20 minutes to not just get the skin benefits, but the overall health benefits red light therapy has to offer. But some mornings, honestly, I just don't have the time to stand in front of my panel for 10 to 20 minutes. Like today, I have to take care of quite a few things. So this morning, I'm going to use one of my masks. Again, I like to use red light therapy on either clean skin, or I apply a mist or serum, which promises to help amplify the effects of red light therapy. I have several different ones. I have the Misama Green Rooibos Atomizer, which is a beautiful mist. I also have the Misama Green Rooibos Light Serum. And I'm currently testing a serum by Young Goose, which contains a DNA repair enzyme that gets activated by light. So this is something that is supposed to be used with either red light therapy or when going out into the sunshine. So since I'm currently testing this, let's use this. This is a beautiful, very light serum. And I'm going to apply this all over my face as well as my neck, because this morning I am going to use my Current Body Series 2 mask. Now, like I said, both of these masks are fantastic, and I go back and forth between the two of them. I'm going to have to adjust my towel so I don't give you a Janet Jackson Super Bowl moment. Just a second. All right. In normal life, obviously, I don't attach a microphone to my towel. But again, I wanted to show you how I use these modalities or devices in real life. So today I'm going to use this mask. What I like about this mask is that, first of all, it's really comfortable. It fits nice and snugly, so I can multitask wearing this without it moving around. I also like that it has this submental part right here, so while I don't treat my whole body as I would standing in front of my full body panel, at least I'm getting this little wobble right here. Now this only has a 10-minute program. You turn it on. It is a 10-minute program that combines red and infrared. Personally, I always combine red and infrared, but I know some of you like to separate red from infrared. If that is you, this mask is not for you. I look ridiculous wearing this. I hope you can take me seriously. But again, if that is you, if you like to separate red from infrared, this mask is not for you. However, the Misama Prana mask has several different programs. It has a program that combines red and infrared. It has one that just uses red, one that uses red and blue combined, and then you can also add pulsed light technology to each of these programs. What I like about the Misama mask too is that the mouth is covered. Unlike with this one, obviously the mouth is open, but this is an area many of us like to treat, obviously. So in some ways, I do feel the Misama Prana mask is superior to this mask, since it does have several different programs, it does have pulsed light technology, and the mouth is covered. However, this one has the little submental part. So again, both of these are fantastic, and I just kind of go back and forth between the two of them. Now, usually when I wear this mask, again, this is a 10-minute program, I like to multitask. So right now I'm going to apply my body lotion and get dressed. So I just used this for 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I applied body lotion, got dressed, and even made a phone call. So this is why I like using red light therapy masks, because I can get at least the skin benefits of red light therapy while multitasking. Now, of course, while I treated my little wobble right here with the submental part, I didn't treat the rest of my neck, chest, nor the rest of my body as I would have if I would have stood in front of my full body panel. However, I do have a neck and neck mask as well, which lives in my living room next to my couch. For some reason, I put it there. And if I haven't already used my full body panel in the morning, then I will very often use my neck and neck mask at night while sitting on the couch watching television. Now, as you can see, this mask does leave a few dents, but they usually go away once I'm done with the rest of my skincare, which is usually what I will do. Once I'm done using my red light therapy, I will just go on with the rest of my morning skincare. Now, I'm currently testing one more red light therapy device, and it is this red light therapy hat by Higher Dose. Now, this tool is super easy to use. You just turn it on, and you can see it has quite a few LEDs inside. However, this is very new to me. I've only had this for about a week, so way too soon to tell if it indeed does anything or if it is going to stay in my rotation. But currently I use this first thing in the morning. So I leave this in the kitchen, and when I get up, I put this on, I take my supplements, drink my water, get ready to do my workout. This is a 10-minute program, so by the time I've done all of that, this program is up. Now, the reason I wanted to try red light therapy on my scalp is that I've talked about this quite a bit on this channel before. Every year I experience seasonal hair loss, which means that every year, as soon as the weather gets warm, so starting in about June or July until about October, I shed excessively. And even though I know it is a seasonal thing and there is an end to it, every year it freaks me out. Because every year when it is that season, when I wash my hair, when I comb my hair, I shed excessively. And if you have ever struggled with hair loss, you know how stressful it can be to see your hair all over the place. So I have tried, I don't know how many different remedies, and most of them didn't do anything. The only thing that has really helped so far is the Calcium Advanced Hair Care Serum, which I have raved about on this channel before. I actually have it right here. So this year, I am trying to get ahead of my seasonal hair loss by not just continuing to use the Calcium Advanced Hair Care System, but also by using red light therapy on my scalp. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it will actually help. I will keep you posted on this, of course. Another modality I use quite frequently is microcurrent. Now, just like with LED devices, I have a couple different microcurrent devices because I tested them for this channel. But really the one I have been using the most, or really the only one I have been using for the past year or so, is my Ziip Halo. I love this little guy. It's easy to use, it's fun to use, and I can multitask while using it. Now I have two ways of using this little guy. The first one is first thing in the morning, coming straight out of the shower. On days I either don't use my red light therapy, or if I happen to have a ton of time that morning, I will do my red light therapy first and then use my Ziip Halo. So I just got out of the shower. I'm going to apply some conductive gel. Now Ziip has several different conductive gels, and you can really use any conductive gel with the Ziip Halo or with microcurrent. So I'm going to apply about 6 or 7 pumps all over my face, even my lips and my neck. Though to be honest, I'm quite bad about treating my neck. I really want to get better about doing microcurrent on my neck. For the most part, I do my face and then I forget about my neck. But that is one of my goals. I want to get better about treating my neck as well, because it is an area I have been neglecting for the longest time. So usually what I will do is the Ziip Halo comes with an app. And the app, I believe, has about 10 different programs. It also comes, this little guy also comes with a pre-programmed program called the Lift, which you can use without going into the app. So that is what I will usually use to start my treatment. All I do is just turn on the device. And then the Lift program is a freestyle program. It is a 4-minute program. And I actually had the founder of Ziip Halo, Melanie Simon, on my channel not too long ago. And Melanie suggested to use the Lift program, which again is a 4-minute program, for 4 minutes on each side of the face. So totaling 8 minutes, which is what I usually do. So all I do again is I turn the device on and then I use it in upward motions, and it buzzes every few seconds. The device buzzes every few seconds. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is usually when you want to move the device. However, Melanie in our video said that that is really just a suggestion, that you can move slower or faster. So I often will actually move a bit slower and just hold the device because I feel it gives me a better lift. Now, I'm not going to make you sit through the whole 4 minutes or the total of 8 minutes. I'm going to fast forward this and then show you what other treatments I usually add on. All right, so that was 4 minutes on just the left side of my face. And you can see I definitely got a lift on the left side of my face. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the right side of my face. Again, I'm just going to turn this on and then use the device in upward motions. And I am including my neck a little bit, but like I said, I really want to get better about just treating my neck. For the most part, I usually run out of time, which is not an excuse because it would just be an extra 4 minutes, because Melanie actually suggested to use the Lift program on the neck, just doing strokes like this, up and out. So I want to get better about including that. Now I can feel a slight tingling or buzzing sensation with the lift program. But as you can see, my muscles aren't jumping, they are not contracting, and that's important when we use microcurrent. Microcurrent can help our skin to produce more ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which in turn can help with collagen and elastin production. But if our muscles are contracting and are jumping all over the place, we risk actually depleting ATP. So we're actually achieving the opposite of what we're trying to achieve. All right, so that was another 4 minutes now on the right side of my face. You can see I have an even lift now. I'm also turning a bit red. That's okay, that's just circulation. So far I've done an 8-minute treatment. Now what I normally like to do is to also add the Plump program, which is a program from the app. So for that I have to turn my camera off right now, go into the app, and then I'll be back. So the Plump program is a 2-minute freestyle program. And all I do is just move the device around slowly and gently over areas where I would like to see a bit of plumping. All right, so that was 2 minutes of the plumping program on the left side of my face. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind, of course, is that results from at-home devices are subtle. And we have to keep using these at-home devices to keep up these subtle results. So that was another 2 minutes of the plumping program on the right side of my face. The last treatment I'm going to add is the 2-minute lip program. Lip treatment done. So that was a total of 14 minutes. And usually I do this kind of treatment, this 14-minute treatment, about 3 days a week. Now, usually when I do this treatment, I multitask. I will read emails, watch a YouTube video, or even make a phone call. Another way I like to use my Ziip is in the evenings when sitting on the couch watching television. I will turn this on Founder's Favorite, which is a 10-minute nanocurrent only program. It is free flow, so I can just hold the device in one spot or slowly move it around. I find it incredibly relaxing and even self-soothing. Like I said, Founder's Favorite is a 10-minute program, and I will oftentimes turn it on and on again, sitting here for an hour or so watching a TV show and just using this on Founder's Favorite. And if I really want to multitask and haven't used my full body red light therapy panel in the morning, I will also put on my red light therapy neck and neck mask for about 10 minutes while using this on Founder's Favorite and watching a movie or television show. Again, I apologize about the lighting. I know it is horrific, and I hope the sound is okay. I hope you can hear me okay. But I'm obviously back in my bathroom. Now, the modality I have used the longest is microneedling. I have microneedled for about 16 years now. However, for the longest time, I only medical microneedled. And it's only really the past 2 years or so that I have gotten more regular with cosmetic needling as well. So I like to cosmetic needle once a week, usually in the evenings, and usually on a Friday evening, just so I remember. And to do so, I am currently using this 0.25 millimeter derma roller. Now, I have used a Dr. Pen as well as a Dr. Stamp to cosmetic needle. All three work really well, but currently I'm using a roller. So it is Friday evening, I'm in my pajamas. I just washed my face, neck and chest, so my skin is completely clean. But personally, before I cosmetic needle, I like to apply a serum, which I would like to penetrate a bit deeper. Now, since I usually cosmetic needle in the evenings, it will be something like a growth factor serum or a peptide serum. Currently, I'm testing this serum, and I'm sorry, I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it. Angela Gaglia, I hope I'm not butchering that, but this popped up all over my feed, so I was curious about it, and unfortunately I love it. It is stupidly expensive, so I wish I wouldn't love it, but I do. So I'm going to take a bit of this and apply it to my face, neck, and and I will do my chest off camera. In fact, I won't do the whole treatment. I just want to show you really fast how I cosmetic needle. So like I said, I use a 0.25 millimeter derma roller, and I section my face into 2 halves, or really 4 quarters, I think, just like when I medical microneedle. And I go horizontally and then vertically. It's been a long day, my brain is tired. So all I do is I start at my chin, and I can hold on to my ear to keep my skin a bit taut, but it really doesn't help that much. So I just start at my chin, and this is kind of moving around a little bit. So this has a replaceable head, and I don't think I had it on all the way, but now I do. So I start at my chin, and I just move up. I do a few passes like this, and I don't apply a lot of pressure. Kind of the pressure I would apply when I put a pen to paper. So I just move up from my chin to my ear. I do about 4 or 5 passes. Then I set the roller right next to where I just rolled. Again, I do the same thing, about 4 or 5 passes. This doesn't hurt at all. And then I continue to work my way up my face like that, horizontally, and then I do the same thing vertically, and I cover my whole face like that, and then my neck and my chest. And then every 4 to 6 weeks, I medical microneedle. Now, I have a whole playlist on microneedling, so I won't go into detail about the differences between cosmetic and medical microneedling. If you're new to microneedling, please check out that playlist. But I wanted to talk about the timing, because so many of you always ask me how I fit cosmetic needling and medical microneedling into my schedule. So I cosmetic needle once a week, usually on a Friday evening, just so I remember. I will do so for 3 weeks in a row, so 3 Fridays in a row. The 4th Friday, I will medical microneedle, but not cosmetic needle. Now, it's not always perfect. Sometimes it's every 5th or 6th Friday, just depending on what's going on with my schedule. Because medical needling does give you some downtime, so I have to just fit it into my schedule. But I try to medical needle every 4 to 6 weeks. But let's say ideally, I again cosmetic needle for 3 Fridays in a row. The 4th Friday, I will then medical microneedle, but I won't cosmetic needle. The following Friday, I will then cosmetic needle again. I will do so again for 3 weeks in a row. And the 4th Friday, or the 5th or 6th, I will medical microneedle again. To medical microneedle, I use a doctor pen. I have several different models because, again, I test them for this channel. But the one I reach for most frequently is this one right here, the Dr. Pen Q2. So all I do, like I said, I have so many videos of microneedling and I don't want to bore you, but all I do is turn my pen on. I dial this in at a certain depth. So medical microneedling starts at 0.5 millimeters. And then I will just take my pen and stamp. And I use the stamping technique to cover each section of my face horizontally as well as vertically. And then I do the same thing on my neck and my chest. So again, let me turn this off so you can hear me better. I medical microneedle every 4 to 6 weeks. The week I medical microneedle, I will not cosmetic needle, but I will cosmetic needle the week before and the week after. I hope that makes sense. And then lastly, the device I use least frequently, but which has nevertheless made a huge difference, is my Oralift. Quite a few of you have actually asked me if I still use this little guy, and yes I do, and I absolutely love it. This is a mouthguard looking like device. It looks like this. It has tiny little blocks right here, and I just pop this into my mouth and go on with my day. So this little guy I usually wear when sitting here editing, answering emails, watching television, or relaxing. I'm in my maintenance phase because I have used this for about 4 years. And the way the company suggests to wear this in the maintenance phase is to wear it for 2 months, every third day, for up to 2 hours a day. After those 2 months, you take a 4 months break. Then again, you wear it for 2 months, every third day, for up to 2 hours a day. I know that sounds complicated. And honestly, I'm not too strict on the timing. I will take about 4 months off and then wear this for about 2 months, but I'm not too strict on it. And in those 2 months, sometimes depending on how I feel, I will wear this daily for a few days in a row, sometimes every other day, sometimes every third day, for again, up to 2 hours a day. I love this little guy. It has made a huge difference for me. First of all, I used to be a tooth grinder, so badly so that I have ruined all my teeth. Almost all of my teeth in my mouth are fake. They are veneers, crowns, and implants. Because I used to, again, be such a tooth grinder that I have just ruined all my teeth. So not only has this helped me to stop grinding my teeth, to actually feel comfortable, to get dental work, because of course this wasn't cheap, and I wouldn't have gotten this dental work if I would still be grinding my teeth like I used to. But this has also, so Dr. Mahindra, the founder of the Oralift, says that this gives us a non-surgical facelift. I wouldn't go that far. But what this has done, when we are younger, we have what is referred to as the triangle of youth, meaning our face is wider here and more narrow here. As we age, that unfortunately reverses. Our face gets more narrow here and wider here. And as you can see in my before picture, which was taken when I was, I believe, 51, you can definitely see that the triangle of youth was reversed. My jaw was getting quite square and my temples very sunken in. And then the after picture was taken only 4 months after starting the Oralift. And you can see there is definitely a reversal of that triangle of youth in the right direction. So that is what this little guy has done for me. It has helped bring my face back to my useful proportions, but more importantly, it has helped me to stop grinding my teeth and to stop ruining my teeth. And again, I just pop it into my mouth while I sit on my computer, while I watch TV or relax. And again, I do so for about 2 months, about every third day, for up to 2 hours a day. Then I take about 4 months off, and then I repeat that cycle. And this is obviously very easy to even multitask with other devices. Sometimes I pop this into my mouth while using my Ziip or my red light therapy mask. So anyways, these are the at-home devices or modalities that have actually stuck around because I can see a huge difference from every single one of them. I would love to know what at-home devices or modalities do you use and have actually seen a difference from, and also which ones have you tried and you haven't seen a difference from. Please share down below. One last thing, I get asked quite frequently about almost all of these modalities aside from the Oralift, but about red light therapy, microcurrent, and even microneedling, whether any of these modalities cause facial fat loss or facial volume loss. So let's address each modality separately. Red light therapy does have some studies showing that it could potentially help with fat loss. So great news if we want to, for example, get rid of a bit of belly fat, but obviously not great news if we are concerned about facial fat or facial volume loss. Now, I actually have a whole video on this subject, on whether red light therapy does indeed cause facial fat or facial volume loss. In that video, I talked to my good friend Bev Sanderson, who is a red light therapy expert who has read hundreds and hundreds of research papers on red light therapy, including the ones claiming that red light therapy has the potential to cause fat loss. And in our video, Bev talks in detail about why these research papers are not relevant when it comes to facial fat. Now, what about microcurrent? Again, I have a dedicated video on that subject, And in that video, I talked to Dr. Niagan, a PhD in biochemistry, who assured us that as long as our microcurrent device is, first of all, a real microcurrent and does not exceed a certain microamp range, it is safe and does not cause facial fat or facial volume loss. Now, Dr. Niagan in our interview said that a microamp range of 600 or less was a safe range. And as I said earlier, I also had the pleasure of interviewing Melanie Simon, the founder of Ziip, and I asked Melanie the same question: can microcurrent cause facial fat loss? And Melanie basically gave us the same answer as Dr. Niagan, that as long as our microcurrent device does not exceed a certain microamp range, it was safe and does not cause facial fat or facial volume loss. And Melanie actually said that just to be on the safe side, she engineered the Ziip Halo to never exceed 400 microamps. So according to these two experts, microcurrent, again, as long as it doesn't exceed a certain microamp range, does not cause facial fat or facial volume loss. But what about medical microneedling? Now for that one, let's take a look at our skin's anatomy. We have the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis, which is where our fat cells live. Now medical microneedling starts at a needle length of 0.5 millimeters or longer. At 0.5 millimeters or longer, we enter into the dermis. But as you can see from this picture, unless we use a needle length I personally would never recommend to use on the face, we are quite a ways away from the hypodermis or subcutaneous tissue. So to me, it makes no sense how microneedling, unless again we use a needle length, which I personally would never recommend to use on the face. But aside from that, it makes no sense to me how medical microneedling could cause facial fat loss if we are not even entering into the hypodermis or subcutaneous tissue. However, I am not a microneedling expert, so please do your own research on the subject. And if you come across any research proving my logic wrong, then please share down below. And of course, we don't have to worry about facial fat loss or volume loss from the Oralift. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, I would love to know, what at-home skincare devices do you use? Have you seen a difference from? And which ones have you tried you didn't see a difference from? Please share down below. Any questions or comments? Of course, as always, please share them down below. Always love to hear from you. In fact, it's really this community, the comments, the interaction with you that I cherish the most about having this channel. So thank you to every single one of you for being part of this amazing community. And thank you for being here. Until next time, bye.